So today we're looking at the Klingon pickup, the acoustic pickup with a magnetic attachment. So let's take a look at this. There's their logo. They won an award at the NAMM show. And there it is attached to a guitar. There's the device. They also sent me some extra magnets, so we'll see if that comes in handy. And also, there's another cord inside the box, which I'll show you, but they sent me like kind of a direct into the amp. So this will plug into the actual pickup, and this will plug into the amp. So here it is. And of course, one of the best things about this one is that it has a volume dial. So right on here, you can adjust the volume right on the device itself, and this is going to attach right to the guitar with a magnet. So you can see this magnet here attaches nice and firmly. So that magnet will go inside your guitar, and then this will just stick on the outside. Also comes with another cord here. I guess if you already have a cable for your amp, you just plug it right into there. There we go. So just to demonstrate what this is kind of like on your instrument is that this will be on the top of your guitar and the magnet will go on the inside of your guitar, which keeps this firmly attached. So they recommend taking this piece of putty and putting it on the inside of the guitar and attaching the magnet to the piece of putty. That will keep the magnet in place on your guitar as kind of like a semi-permanent solution, although you can easily take it off and just roll this stuff off. But if you're not into that, you can just use the magnet without it. So today I'm not going to use the putty, so I'm just going to put the magnet in there. Before you do this, I'd recommend using some of this non-adhesive protection on your guitar. I use this like cling vinyl stuff. So I don't know if you can see it on the instrument, but I'll peel back some here. You see that's actually all over the guitar here, just as like a pick guard or like to protect the guitar from my nails. So I'd recommend using that so you don't damage your guitar when you try this out. But of course, it's going to be up to you to protect your guitar and to do it gently. That's probably why they recommend using the nice putty, just being really gentle. So they suggest loosening all the strings on the guitar and then reaching your hand in. Instead, what I'm going to do is I've just kind of put it on the end of an Allen key here. And I'm just going to stick that in. That way I don't have to actually loosen my strings or anything. So for me, this is a great solution. Put it back here and then very gently get the magnet in place here. So then you just plug this in. Easy installation. Now changing the position of the contact mic will change the tone quality of how it sounds. So by putting it in different places, it will sound different. A lot of people recommend putting it here. I found with lots of these contact mics, it sounds really good on the bridge or right below the bridge or even over here. For today's demonstration, I'll just be putting it over here. And so you can see it's not going to fall off or anything like that. I can turn the guitar on its side, jiggle it about lots, and nothing happens. I guess if you yanked this cord really hard, it could possibly come off. That's where the putty would come in really handy, right? Because if I pull this off right now, the magnet's just going to fall inside my guitar and it'll just kind of dangle around in there. This would keep it on the underside of the guitar really firmly so that it wouldn't come off when I take off the mic. So I've tried out a lot of different contact mics. You've seen my other reviews probably. There's a mic like a Piezo Pickup that goes underneath the strings on the saddle here, on the bridge that is, and other like contact mics that go on with like that silly putty stuff. So the advantages to this one, of course, the magnet is a real clean thing to do, and I would recommend using the extra magnets, like buy those extra little magnets, and because when I was plugging this in and playing around with the cord, it does come off a little bit easy. I mean, it's pretty good. You can totally just use it out of the box. But I would include those other magnets just to make it a little bit stronger. I think that's a good thing. If you're just a classical guitarist that's sitting like this most of the time, you probably don't need the extra magnets. But if you're moving around lots, or like, especially if you use a strap or something like that on a steel string or something, I would use those extra magnets just to make it a little bit more secure. So the magnet aspect is really great, and you'd want to use that silly putty stuff inside the guitar so that you could just take this off and the magnet would stay in there. So I'd recommend both of those things. I think that's a really good idea. Of course, the best thing about this one, and the thing that interested me the most, was the volume dial. That's huge. It means that if I'm playing a gig, like a wedding gig or something, and someone starts making a speech and I need to be quiet right away, I can just turn this dial down and I'm either quieter or just off completely. That's a huge advantage in gigs. You don't always have your amp right next to you. Sometimes you have to put it a little ways away so it's not blaring in someone's ear, like near a table or something like that. So having that volume right on there is like a really great thing. Most gig guitars that people use with built-in controls, like I have a guitar I play casual gigs on, it has like a mute button right on it and a volume right there, so I can just like quickly turn it off when I need to. And same thing here, you can just turn that volume dial down. So that's super useful. And also it's right there, so even if you were playing more like jazz or something like that and you were going to take a solo, you could even like turn it up a little bit and then you'd have a boost for your solo or whatever application you might need. I imagine that having the volume control right there is going to be very useful to you. So what I'll do is I think like in terms of the sound, it sounds good. Like as far as contact mics go, this is a good one. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a good deal. And considering the clean installation and the volume dial there, I think it's a pretty great contact mic. I'll play a little bit for you, but it's always kind of tricky, the sound, testing out sound like this, because it's going through the contact mic, into my amp, then into my two microphones here, and then into my sound interface, then into my computer, and then across the internet to your computer and out whatever speakers you have. So it's a lot of technology in the way, so I don't think you can ever get an accurate sound, an accurate basis for what it sounds like. So I think the best thing I could do maybe is, as I just thought of this, is I'll play the guitar without any amplification, so you can hear it through the microphones. And then I'll actually just like leave the room and play it just through the mic so you can hear how it sounds through the mic. So I'll put the mic right where the guitar is, and at least that'll give you an idea of like, okay, the guitar sounds like this, that'll give you a bass line, and then this is what it sounds like through the amp, and then you can judge it a little bit. But like I said, take it with a grain of salt because there's a lot of chords and technology in the way. So here's the guitar on its own. I'll just play two little excerpts of things. So as you can tell from the recording, there's a lot of technology in the way, so you can hear this is a really reflective room. You can hear lots of the reflection in the room. And then you can kind of hear like the amp modeling going through the sound speakers and everything like that. So it's kind of a messed up sound review, but nevertheless in person, I think it sounds pretty good. It's a little bit bass heavy, so I turned down the bass quite a bit on my amp. And so you'd want to tweak it, and you can move this around to different spots to try to find a good spot. I found this pretty good on my guitar, but it probably depends on your instrument and your amp and all the different variables, your tone and the strings you use and all those things. So with a little bit of experimenting of moving this around and tweaking your amp, you can get a pretty decent sound for a contact mic. So I was pretty happy with that. Now, there's lots of other contact mics and other amping solutions out there. A lot of them are more expensive though. In terms of these little contact mics, this one's pretty good. I think it sounds pretty decent for what you get, and the addition of the magnet installation and the volume dial makes this one, a winner for this price range and this type of contact mic. Essentially, they've taken the regular contact mic and they just improved it a lot for the user, and I think those are good improvements that they made, especially the volume, right? So keep those things in mind. The piezo pickup that goes underneath the strings on the saddle, I have a link for that review underneath the video, as well as a review for the other contact mics that I've tried out. But again, you have to loosen all your strings and get it in there or leave it on there. So this is kind of an easier solution in some ways. But that one sounded pretty good, but you can compare the different styles. And of course, the big price differences between all these things. And using actual mics is awesome, but then you have feedback issues sometimes. And you have to have the whole setup, more cords, more wires, longer setup at your gig. These are kind of easy because you just put them on, plug in, and play, right? So those are the advantages to those. So like I said, I've put links to all the contact mic reviews that I've done, so you can check those out. But this one has a few extra features, which makes it kind of a winner.